Good evening, I'm Tara Overholt. An $18.2 billion deficit. The premier preparing the public when he called it a triple black swan event that has sent the province's financials spiraling. But how long will it take to dig back out, and what will that look like? Darcy Ropchan joins us live from our studio in Edmonton as he breaks down the budget. Darcy.
Tara, economic fortunes have rebounded slightly since the pandemic began, and so the province is increasing healthcare spending to fight COVID-19, increasing aid for economic recovery while pledging no new taxes.
Based on the fiscal plan, to begin to see Alberta's expenditures on a per capita basis align with the other large provinces in 22-23.
The province explaining its deficit for the upcoming year is $2 billion less than projected, but that's still $18.2 billion. The finance minister claims the deficit will shrink next year and the year after. The overall debt, which was about $5 billion a decade ago, is expected to reach $116 billion a year from now and $132 billion by 2024. The pandemic forced the government to abandon plans for a balanced budget by the end of their first term, but say they wrote this budget with three metrics: keeping debt to GDP under 30%, aligning spending with other provinces, and eventually balancing the budget once the pandemic ends.
We're not on a path of cost cutting. We're on a path of delivering government services most efficiently. Our healthcare budget, we're increasing our base budget this year by $900 million. That's over and above our $1.3 billion health contingency that we're setting aside for COVID.
$900 million will be added to healthcare funding in the province to clear a surgery backlog. The 2021 budget also expects to spend $1.25 billion in COVID-related healthcare spending, like vaccine rollout. Alberta's financial planners also lowballed the price of oil to just $40 a barrel for their budget to match the volatile year it's had.
Of course, the pandemic started taking hold. We, at the same time, had an energy price war between OPEC plus countries, and that created in really what an energy price collapse that couldn't be predicted. Our economic assumptions that are ultimately resulting in our revenue projections are very conservative this year.
If there's a silver lining to all the bad numbers, there are no new taxes or increases for Albertans in this budget year, but that could happen once COVID is in the rearview mirror.
Right now is not a time to even be considering major revenue adjustments or tax increases. There's an abundance of research that would show that tax increases have a very negative effect on economic growth.